If you're a designer or a developer, I'm sure you're working on a number of fantastic side projects. And if you are, you need a proper landing page or even an entire site. Instead of hand coding and designing everything yourself, you can actually use a page builder, import one of the fantastic pre-built templates, adjust it to your needs, and focus your development time on actually creating your product, course, or whatever it is that you're working on. In this video, I'll show you how to create a proper website, not just a landing page, a proper website with a navigation structure and all of that using BeTheme and its advanced developer-friendly features. Let's dig in. Before we get into it, I want to make it perfectly clear that this video is sponsored by BeTheme, and BeTheme is the ultimate WordPress website builder and theme in one. This is a multi-purpose WordPress theme. It comes with a ton of predefined templates, essentially whole websites that you can use and adjust to your needs. There is more than 700 pre-built websites, and you can just pick anything that you like, adjust it using the BeBuilder, and you'll be on your way either for yourself, for your side project, or for your client. One more thing I want to tell you about the BeTheme before we jump into code, into WordPress, is its pricing. And pricing is really good. Unlike with most of other themes where you have subscriptions and you have to pay for additional plugins, packages, or features, BeTheme is priced as $60 one-off, no hidden costs. Meaning there's no subscription. Once you pay it, it's yours. You get updates, everything you need to work with it, and I think it's a really fantastic deal. For only $60, you get a library of 700 templates that you can use, and with the page builder that allows you to customize any of those templates according to your needs. And the builder is actually developer friendly and allows you to work directly with code. I'm going to show you exactly how this works in a moment. All right, I will jump into WordPress now and I will show you how to work with BeTheme. And we'll start with installing it. I know you already know how to install a WordPress theme, but I still want to show you the process because it allows you to customize a number of things, and I think that's pretty cool. All right, in my WordPress admin, I will go into Appearance, Themes, and I will add a new theme. I will upload it. Here it is, BeTheme, and I will install it. Once you activate it, you will have to enter your license key and register it. And once you do that, you can start your setup. And the setup is very simple, very intuitive, and very powerful. I'm going to go with the pre-built website here because I want to use an existing template and just adjust it to my needs. This is fine. And here's the option that I'm sure you'll love. You can set up BeBuilder in the visual or in the code mode. As a developer, I'm sure you'll appreciate the code mode here because it will give you syntax highlighting and a bit more control. I'll select technology and computing here. And here, of course, without any doubt, I'm going to go with BeBuilder. Now I get to select a website that I can use as a starting point. You can preview all websites that are available here. You can search, you can filter by category. And for this demo, I'm going to go with the course 3 template. And I'm going to import entire website. You can also select only the parts that you want to import, like content or theme options, but I'm going to go with the complete website with media and everything, just so you can see clearly how powerful this is. Here I see exactly what will be installed once I start the process. So for this theme, I'm going to get Contact Form 7 WooCommerce. Yes, BeTheme comes with WooCommerce integration by default. You're going to love it. All right, let's start the installation. As you can see, this will reset my database, but this is a clean WordPress installation, so I don't mind that. I'm just going to hit delete here. All right, I can already start working with BeTheme, or I can redirect my thumbnails, and I'll just do it immediately so I don't have to deal with that a bit later. All done, then I can check my website. As you see, this looks really great, and this is actually a landing page or a website for a courses site. All right, let's jump back into admin, and let's see the BeTheme dashboard. And the first thing that you're going to notice here is that I already have an update here. Well, theme is regularly updated, which is, of course, fantastic. If I'm not happy with the template that I've chosen, I can start here from scratch. And this is, again, a very simple and intuitive process. Or I can pick another pre-built website here immediately. I'm not going to go over all the options that you have available in BeTheme. Explore those yourself. There's really a ton of stuff that you can customize and adjust according to your needs. Right, I'll go into pages and I'll just edit homepage with BeBuilder. And BeBuilder is a fast and intuitive builder, and you can customize absolutely anything that you want. One of the best developer-friendly features of BeBuilder that I want to highlight first is Page Navigator. You can see it right here. It gives you a clear overview of all elements that are on the page. So there's a number of sections here, and you can open any of those sections and you see exactly what's in each of those sections. You can use the navigator as a floating window, and you can even set it up as a sidebar. And that's exactly what we'll do next. I'll go into settings and I'll set the navigator to the side. I personally find this to be a better option. And as long as we're in settings, you can immediately see here that you can also switch column text editor from code to visual. This is what we selected in the installation step. So if you want to change this at any point in your workflow, you can easily do this in settings. Another thing that I want to mention here while we're in settings is that you have a number of shortcuts, number of keyboard shortcuts available in BeBuilder. You can see them all right here, and they are pretty much standard shortcuts that you can use regularly. And there are shortcuts that are specifically related to BeBuilder, such as toggling the navigator using the Command I shortcut or Control I on Windows. There's also a handy shortcut that I use constantly to show and hide the left panel. If you want to see a little bit more clearly what your website looks like, then you can immediately hit Command P and Command I to hide both of those panels and see your page at a glance immediately in the builder. Here it is, Command I and Command P, and now I have a clean view of my website. All right, let me return those panels. And let me show you how easy it is to tweak things in BeBuilder. So if you want to tweak anything in the editor, all you need to do is click on an element. Once you do, you'll see the element highlighted in the navigator. And of course, you can also select it directly in the navigator if you click on various parts, but you'll also see options that are related to the element that you selected in the left panel. Right here, we have a banner box, and there's a ton of settings we can adjust here. If you want to change the image, we can do so here. If you want to change the headline, you can easily do this here. Let's say CSS Development Essentials. It seems much better. If I hover over this box, you're going to see that Read More slides in from below, and this can be easily adjusted right in this section. Instead of Read More, I want to have Enroll Now call to action. Here it is, that simple. Of course, you can adjust styling as well in its separate tab. There's too many options here to even name, but all are intuitive and very easy to work with. Just play around with those values and see what it looks like on the page live right here in the preview. The third panel is advanced, and here you're going to see a number of advanced options such as padding, spacing, backgrounds, and more. I invite you to dig into those yourself. There's just plenty of stuff to explore. We might even dig into some of those options a little bit later, but do explore it yourself and see how powerful BeBuilder actually is. BeBuilder, as you probably expect, comes with a number of elements that you can immediately use and add to your page. There is a ton of elements here, as you can clearly see, and that's why we have this very handy search box where you can search for exactly what you want. I'm going to add the column text element here underneath my latest courses paragraph. I'm just going to drag and drop it. And immediately as I do, you're going to see that there is syntax highlighting available right here. And if I try to edit this, you're going to see that this is not just syntax highlighting, it actually is code completion also available right within here. If you're a developer, I'm sure you're going to appreciate this and find this very handy. So I'll add a span tag here, and I'm going to just use the style tag to set color to red for the first few words. And I'm going to close my span right here. All right, there we go. Another great thing that you have at your disposal in BeBuilder in practically all elements is dynamic data. And you're going to find it under this icon, and it shows you everything that is available in the context of the element that you have selected. For example, let's show the page title right here. And this is exactly how you can use it in code. In the preview, you will see the code, but if you actually generate a proper preview, then you will see the actual data. I'll scroll down here, and here I have a name for my page. In this particular example, this is home. Let's return back to the editor. I think that this pretty clearly shows you how powerful this code editing within BeBuilder can actually be. There's a very handy and practical way to add new sections in your page builder. If you hit the plus button at the edge of a section, you will be presented with this dialog where you can select a layout that you want to add. Let's add a 3-column layout, so I can very easily drag and drop any element within this new section. And of course, it's very easy to tweak the layout once you insert it. So if I'm not satisfied with 3 columns layout that I selected, I can just delete one of those columns. And now I can adjust the second column right here. And instead of 1/3, let's set it to 2/3. That is how easy it is to tweak the layout here. All right, these are pretty much basics, but let me show you really cool and powerful stuff that you can do with BeBuilder. I'm not sure if you noticed this before, but section above here, this one, looks a little bit different. If I hover it, you can clearly see that I can't select individual elements, but I have this one edit button. And the tooltip says edit global section. And this is actually this section in the Navigator right here. And this is one of the powerful features of BeBuilder. I will hit edit here and I'm going to be taken into a new tab with this section opened in a separate editor. And I think that the name itself clearly explains what this does. This is a global section, which means that you edit it in one place and then you include it in any page that you want across your site. So you can create a header, footer, or any other section, and you can just include it as is on any page where you want it. That is really powerful and really cool feature. You don't have to build or copy paste separate sections to different pages. You create a global section and then you just include it on all pages where you want. And if you ever want to edit it, you edit it on one place and the changes will be applied to all pages where this section is actually included. This is essentially a standard BeBuilder. All options that are available in BeBuilder are also available here. And I'm going to go into WordPress admin right now. And here in the BeTheme dashboard, I'm going to open templates. And here are all those sections, all those templates that I can use within my pages. The section that we just edited is this one. Of course, you can edit here any of the available sections, or you can add a new template or new section. And let's do this right now. And we're going to add a header section. Let's say course header. I'm going to create the template. And of course, the BeBuilder will be opened here. And I'm going to see my homepage grayed out. And here above the section where I can edit or create my header. So let's add a layout here. I'm going to add one row. Let's drop a logo right here. I'm going to use dynamic data here and I'm going to select a site logo. There it is. It really is that easy. And I'm going to add padding to my header. And in advanced, I'm going to open a spacing and I'm just going to add top and bottom margin. Let's say 15 pixels. Of course, I can add another element here. Let's add a menu. And I'm just going to tweak the positioning right here in the Navigator. That's how handy it is. If I hide the Navigator, I can see exactly what this looks like. And of course, I can see the preview on tablet and mobile devices here as well and tweak those if necessary. Let's open the menu here and let's select the one to display, perhaps a main menu. There it is. Let's say you want to create a mega menu here. That's actually fairly trivial to do. We only need to assign a mega menu item to this main menu we've selected for this page. And actually, I'm going to hit update here and I'm going to add a condition because I want to display this template on all my pages. So I will include this header on my entire site. I'll hit save. And if I go back to WordPress admin, into templates, I can see that there is already one mega menu available here. Let me quickly see what it looks like. So there it is. So of course I have an entire editor at my disposal right here, so I can tweak it any way I want. And then I can include it in WordPress admin to my main menu. Let's do that. I'll return back to WordPress and in the appearance menu, I will select menus. This is going to be my main menu. Here it is, about FAQ and contact. I will open the about page and here I have an option to select a mega menu. I will select categories mega menu here. This is the menu that we've seen a bit earlier. I'll save this, go back to my preview, refresh it, and you immediately see that we have a submenu on our about item and this is the menu that we've created. This is working exactly as it should. So in the last few minutes, we've actually created a header for our page, and this is going to work across all pages of our site, and a mega menu, and this is actually pulling the actual items from our site. And this works thanks to another fantastic BeBuilder feature, which is a query builder. Let me show you how this works. I will close this editor and this preview because we have one too many, and I will return to my landing page builder. I'll actually refresh it because I do want to see my menu appear right here. There it is. And now let me select this item right here. Notice here that only the first item is actually visible. All other items are grayed out. And we have a label here that says section loop. And you clearly see here in the settings under type, query loop is selected. And query loop actually loops the content from WordPress and displays it in a certain block. So here in this section, we're displaying posts with the type of product. Of course, you can style those any way you want, and you can also display anything from that post type anywhere here in the template where you want. If I select the image here, you're going to see that this is actually a featured image code that you can easily select again from dynamic data. And if I open it, you're going to see that we have two sources for this particular image. We want to show the product image here, not the author avatar, and exactly the same thing for everything else. Here, we have a title, and maybe we want to have a description underneath it as well, and we can easily add that using dynamic data. If I open it, I can search for product excerpt, and this will immediately appear exactly what it should. Of course, as you see, I've added this under my headline. I should create another text field and then add this underneath, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to add dynamic data in BeBuilder. And this is the power of the query loop. You design one element, and then all other elements of that type that you selected in the query loop will be shown exactly where you want. I'll remove this now. I'll just use the title here, and let's go back to section. And you've already noticed that this is actually a slider. And the way to set this up is in the Styles tab. So right here, display, we have default and slider, and we're using a slider. The slider with 5 columns will display 5 items from our query loop. So that is really powerful. You don't have to build pages in Page Builder manually, but you can actually very easily utilize data you have available in WordPress. And this is actually, you probably realize it by now, coming from WooCommerce. It works natively with BeTheme, and that's how easy it is to actually integrate it. I didn't have to go into WooCommerce to set anything up. It's already available in BeBuilder, and I can already use it. If you delete or change the product in WooCommerce, all changes will be reflected right here immediately. Of course, I probably don't even have to mention that you have a ton of options to stylize this exactly as you want available here in the sidebar. Again, I will invite you to explore those yourself. Let me also show you how easy it is to create a query loop by yourself from scratch. I will add another section here. Now, before I get into it, I want to mention that you have a number of elements that are already using this query loop by themselves. For example, let's search for list elements. Testimonials element is already using this data from query loop. There's nothing to set up, but you can set up any loop that you want by yourself if you go into a section and then change it from type default to query loop. Here, you can set up anything any way you want. Let's select posts here, and let's change this to testimonial. The only thing I need now are elements that I want to showcase here. So let's add a headline element or heading. And you see here that this is already repeated based on all testimonials that I have available in WordPress admin. So instead of this is the heading, I want to have dynamic data here. If you already know how to do this, I'm just going to use testimonial title here. We have testimonial 1, 2, and 3. Let's align this to center. I'm going to find alignment in the style tab. I'll set it to center. I will also add some text here. Let's use plain text here. Of course, I will use dynamic data here, and I will just select testimonial content. I was trying something outside of the recording, that's why I messed something up, so I'm just going to adjust it really quickly. There we go. We have a testimonials element with 3 items. This element is using dynamic data, and let's say we want to display those actually in columns. If I select the section here, section that is set to query loop, I can go into Style tab, and here in item width, I can select percentages and set this to something like 33%. And now all of my items are already visible. I'll update this, go into WordPress admin, and really quickly show you that we have testimonials item here in the WordPress, and those are the 3 testimonials that we've actually included using the query loop. It's really powerful and really handy, and it allows you to very easily work with data available from WordPress. And you don't have to use one of their pre-built elements like testimonials element. You can design it any way you want, and you can style it any way you want without any restrictions. That's how powerful the query builder is, and that's why you should use it. So I hope that this short introduction clearly showed you how powerful BeBuilder is, how powerful its query loop builder is. I really love it, and you're gonna love it too. You can use any data that you have in WordPress, including WooCommerce integration, and you can just seamlessly add onto your page any way you want. Of course, you don't have to start from scratch. There's a ton of templates available in BeBuilder, you can select the one that makes sense for you and start from there, tweak the images, tweak the content, add something new, something special, and you're already done. Again, this video is sponsored by BeTheme. I think it's a really good product that you absolutely should try. It's very affordable, very powerful, and a fantastic tool that you can utilize to build a landing page or proper website for your product, for your side project, and even for your e-commerce site. I mentioned this before, and I'm going to mention it again here. BeTheme is fully integrated with WooCommerce. It comes with a number of predefined templates and even elements that are specific for your product and shop pages. So if you're building an e-commerce site, BeTheme has everything you need for that as well. So you don't have to build everything from scratch. You don't have to waste a ton of time creating everything. Just install WordPress, use BeBuilder, and be done with your perfect page in moments, so you can focus your precious development time on the actual tool, product, or app that you are building. You're going to find the link in the description, so make sure to hit that link and try out the BeTheme. You definitely won't be sorry. Thanks so much to BeTheme for sponsoring. Thank you so much for your attention. My name is Zoran Jambor. I will see and hear you in a different BeTheme template, or rather, in the next video.